Hey guys, I'm Shaunak. Let me know if I'm audible to you or not. Hello guys. Okay. So guys, in today's session we'll be talking about average mission and allocation. In the previous session, I talked about how we can solve problems coming from different chapters quickly. Okay. Today we have picked up average mission and allocation. It is one of the most important topics in arithmetic. So today we'll be learning how we can solve problems of average mission and allocation quickly with applying by applying tricks and techniques under 1 minute. Okay, under 1 minute or 30 seconds. So before starting off, introduction about myself. So I am Sounak Kundu. I am having a 99.97 percentile in the quant section of CAT and more than 99 plus percentile in the uh, overall CAT. And I am having an experience of 4 years in teaching online. Okay. So, guys, as the topic suggests that the average mixer and allocation. So we'll be having three important things to learn over here. The first is average, the second is mixture, and the third one is allocation. Okay, so we'll be learning them one by one. And in case if you're having any questions, so those of you who are watching it live, if you're having any questions, then please feel free to ask them. Okay, and guys, let me know in the comment section if I'm audible to you or not so that I can adjust the sound accordingly. Hello, guys, let me know if I'm audible to you or not. Okay, so let's start off with the concept of average. So in average, what happens is that if we have a series of numbers, let's say if we are having numbers like 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 till 100, okay, and if we have to find out the average of all the numbers, it means that if I replace all these numbers by one symbol, okay, by one single number, so that the sum of all the numbers is the same, then it is called the average. Okay, so basically average was used previously when we had to predict something. Okay, when we had to predict something. So for example, if the rainfall in Mumbai for the past 6 days is, let's say, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, and if I have to predict what is going to happen in the next day, what's the rainfall that's going to happen in the next day, if we do not see any pattern in the number, and if we just blindly and bluntly say, okay, the in the next day the rainfall is going to be the average of all the numbers. So average was one of the important ways to predict the number initially, but after that there are different methods that came up which replaced it. So in today's class we'll be learning what is average and how we can solve the average problems quickly. Okay, and guys, if you're having any doubts, please feel free to ask me. So let's say if you're having numbers x1, x2, x3. Okay, so x1, x2, x3, dotted so on up to xn. We are having numbers from x1 to xn. Now the average of all these numbers is going to be x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 dotted so on up to xn by n. That we all know. Okay. Now we'll be understanding how we can find out this average quickly, because in MAHCET what happens is that we need to solve one question under a time pressure, and that is 45 seconds roughly. And in the previous session, I have told you how we can solve like the problems of number series and the problems of quadratic equations very quickly under 30 seconds. So assuming that we are having typically 45 to 60 seconds, it is very important to understand how we can do the average problems quickly. Okay. So let's see if we are having numbers, let's say 50. Hold on. Let's see if you're having numbers, let's say 50, 60. I'll just say it orally. 50, 60, 70, 80. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Let's say we are having numbers like this. Then how we can find out the average? So one thing is that we can, so as we see that all these numbers 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, all these numbers are in AP. and the common difference is 10. So we can say that okay, to find out the average of an AP, what we can do is we can find out the first. Varsha, you have just missed like the first 5 minutes. It's totally okay. Okay. So I was saying that let's say if we are having some numbers which are in AP, let's say 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So all these numbers are in AP. So if you want to find out the average of all these numbers, what you need to do is you need to find out the first term and the last term, add them up and find out the average. So if all the numbers are in AP, so this is a special case that I'm going to discuss. If all the numbers are in AP, arithmetic progression, then how you can find out the average of the numbers? You just simply have to find out the average of the first term and the last term. That will suffice. Okay. So in this case, we are having numbers from 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. So the average of all these numbers is going to be how much? So if we are having 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90, the average is going to be 50 plus 90 by 2, or you can take 60 and 80. So 60 plus 80 by 2, you can also take 70. So basically 70 is the average. So if you find out the average of all these numbers, then it is going to be 70. Sometimes you might not be having all the numbers which are in AP. So how to find out the answer quickly then? Let's say if you're having numbers, let's say 61, 72, 65, 68, 62. Okay, we need to find out the average of all these numbers quickly in an exam. So I'm talking about the MAHCET type exam where the solution has to be found out in 45 seconds. So we need to find out the average of all these numbers quickly. So one way of doing it is that, as you can see, all these numbers are very close to 60, or I can say that all these numbers are greater than 60 or very close to 60. So what I'll be doing is I'll be subtracting 60 from all these numbers. If I subtract 60 from 61, I'll be getting 1. If I'm subtracting 72, I'll be getting 12. If I'm subtracting 60 from if I'm subtracting 60 from 65, I'll be getting 5. If I'm subtracting 60 from 68, I'll be getting 8 and 2. Then I'll be finding the average of all these numbers. So if I find out the average of all these numbers, I'll be getting how much? 20. 12 plus 8, 20, 20 plus 5, 25, 27, and 28. So 28 is the sum of all these numbers. The average is going to be how much? 28 by 5, which is going to be 5.6. So basically what I need to do is that to find out the average, I just need to add 5.6 with 60. That will give me the answer, which is 56.5. So sorry, 66.65.6. Okay, so what I've done is I have simply subtracted one number from all these numbers, and then what I've done, I have found the average of these subtracted number, then I've added it with 60. Let's take another example. Okay, let's say that the height of all the people who are present in the class, we have 7 people present in the class, is, let's say, 160, 162, 173, 169, and let's say 154, and 180, 181. Okay, we need to find out the average of all these heights. So how to do it? So as you can see that all these numbers are more than 160 or like close to 160. So what I'll be doing is I'll be subtracting 160 from all these numbers. So this will give me 2, 0, 2, 13, 9, minus 6, 20, and 21. Then my next step is to find out the average of all these numbers. So that is going to be how much? 2 plus 13, 15. 15 plus 9 is going to be 24. 24 minus 6 is going to be 18. 18 plus 20 is going to be 38. 38 and 21 is going to be 59. So basically I'm having 59, and I'm having 7 people present in the class. So 59 by 7 is going to give me how much? 8.42. So 8.42 is the average. So 8.42 plus the number that I've subtracted from all these initial number, which is 160, is going to be my answer. So 168.42 is the answer. Okay, so if you apply this particular trick, you can solve the problem under 10 seconds. Okay, because this particular step is a mental step. All you need to do is you need to find out the sum of all these numbers, and as these numbers are smaller as compared to the initial set of number, so finding out the sum and then the average is going to be a child's play for you. Okay, now that we are done with average, let's solve one problem. I'll post the problem in the class. Those who are live or those who are watching it live, please comment your answer in the comment section. Okay, the question is, in a class there are total 10 students. In a class there are total 10 students, and the average weight of the 10 students is 45 kg. When the weight of the faculty is added with the weight of the 10 students, then the average weight became 46 kg. So find out the weight of the faculty. The question is, the average weight of the 10 student is 45 kg. So when I have added the weight of the faculty with the weight of the 10 students, then the average weight became 46. So find out the weight of the faculty. This should not take more than 1 minute. I'll be waiting for 1 minute for your answer. Those who are watching it live. Guys, those of you who are watching it live, just let me know in the comment section if I'm audible to you or not. Okay. So I was saying that in this problem we had total 10 students whose average weight was 45 kg, and the total weight hence become 450 kgs. Now when I am adding one more faculty with these 10 people, the average weight becomes how much? 46 kg. The total weight hence becomes 46 into 11, which you can easily find out as 506 kg. Now 506 kg is the total weight of the faculty and the 10 students. I already know the weight of the 10 students, which is 450 kg. So from here I'll be able to find out the weight of the faculty by subtracting 450 from 506, which is going to give me as 506 minus 450, that is equal to 56. And that's the right answer. Okay. Now let's solve one more problem on this, and after that we'll move on to mixture and alligation. The problem is in a class we are having 10 students. In a class we are having 10 students, and the average weight of the 10 students is 45 kg. One student joined the class whose name was A, joined the class, and the average weight hence became 46 kg. Then B joined the class after A. The second student B joined the class after A, and the average weight became 43 kg. Okay, let's make it 44 kg. Okay, not 43, 44 kg. So find out B's weight and A's weight. Okay, I am repeating the question. In a class we are having 10 students whose average weight is 45 kg. Now a student whose name is A joined the class, and hence the average weight became 46 kg. B joined the class after A, and the average weight became 44 kg. We need to find out the weight of the person A and the person B. Okay, those who are watching it live, please comment your answer. What is A's weight? What is B's weight? I'll repeat the question for those of you who just joined. We are having 10 students in a class initially whose average weight was 45 kg. After that, a person named A joined, and the average weight of the class became 46 kg. Then a person B joined, and the average weight of the class became 44 kg. So find out the weight of the students A and B. Okay, Others says 5622. Apurva says 5622. What about others? I'll wait for 30 more seconds and then I'll start up with the explanation. Dibyodak says 5622. Guys, please comment your answer. Those who are watching it live, please comment your answer. We are having 10 students in a class whose average weight is 45 kg. A person A joins the class and then the average weight becomes 46 kg. Then a person B joins the class and the average weight becomes 44 kg. We need to find out the weight of A and weight of B. Okay, so those of you who have marked A's weight as 56, B's weight as 22, that's the right answer. Now, how we can solve the problem fast? So, when the person A joined, okay, so let's say we initially had 10 students, and the students are S1, S2, S dotted so on up to S10, okay, and the average weight of the 10 students were 45 kg. 45, 45, 45, dotted so on up to 45. Now what happened after A joined is, when A joined, the average weight became 46. So what A did is that A increased the average weight of all these people by 1. Okay, so if I have to find out what is A's weight, it has to be how much? 46 plus 10 into 1. Why 46 plus 10 into 1? The logic is that when A joined, what happened? The average weight of the 10 students who were previously there in the class, their weight increased by 1. So their weight initially was, average weight initially was 45 kg. So that increased by 1. Okay, so A initially carried a weight of 46 plus some extra weight, which if distributed among the 10 students, so if I try to explain it like this way, A has a weight which has two component, component 1 and component 2. Component 1 is going to give me the average of the class, and the component 2 is going to increase the average of the, or increase the weight of the other people in the class, such that the weight of the of all the people increases by 1. So what is happening here is that A's first component is 46, which is contributing to the average 46 for A. Okay, that is A's contribution to the average. But the other people who are there in the class, their average weight is 45 kg. So if I have to make the average weight of all the people in the class to be 46, I need to uplift the weight of all the people by 1 kg. So for that, what I have to do is, for that I need to increase the weight of all these people by 1. So I had total 10 people present in the class. So 10 into 1 is the uplifting weight. So A's total weight becomes 46 plus 10 into 1. This is a shortcut of solving this kind of problems. Okay. Now if I have to find out B's weight, so what B is doing, his weight is 44 kg minus some part, because what B is doing, he is lowering the weight of all the people. So B is having some deficit which lowers the average weight of all the people. Okay, so now in the class we are having 11 students plus B. So B's weight is 45 minus the lowering part, and B is lowering the weight of how many people's went, well, weight 11 people, 11 students weight, and by how much? By 2. So 44 minus 11 into 2 is going to give me the answer, that is 22. Clear, guys? Those who are not clear with this approach, please comment not clear in the comment box. I'll restate it again. This kind of tricks, if you know, you can solve the problems by just looking at it, by just looking at the problem under 10 seconds. So it is very much important for you to understand it. Those of you who are not clear, comment no. Those of you who are clear, give me a thumbs up or just comment yes in the comment box. Guys, okay, moving on to the next concept of mixture and alligation. So what happens in the case of mixture is that in the case of mixture we have the Madhur, do you want to repeat it? Okay, so you want to repeat it. So what happens is that, let's say if we are having 10 students in a class whose average weight is 45 kg. Okay, now there is another student, let's say Madhur, comes to the class, and now the average weight becomes 46 kg. Okay, and then Akshay came to the class,
and he lowered the average weight of the students from 46 to 44. Now we need to find out the weight of Madhur and Akshay. Okay, so one simple way of doing it is that 46 into 11 minus 45 into 10. Now as these numbers 11 and 10 are very simple in this case, so you can find it very quickly. Okay, you can find it like 506 minus 450, that is 56. But sometimes these numbers itself can be difficult in nature. Okay, so then multiplying it, subtracting it will be a time consuming affair. So instead of that, what we can do is just consider the scenario when Madhu just joined the class. When Madhu just joined the class, initially we had 10 students, S1, S2, S3, S4, dot so on up to S9 and S10. And then Madhu joined. So when Madhur joined, before that the weight of all the people were 45 on an average. On an average, the weight of all the people were 45. Now, when Madhur joined, what he did is that he had some excess weight, like his weight is extra or more than the other people, right? So that's why the average weight increased from 45 to 46. So his weight was so much that he not only contributed to the average weight of 46 by himself, but also he uplifted the weight of all these people who are present in the class. So if I say that Madhur has two components of weight, okay, the first one is 46, the second one is something, let's say X. So this 46 contributes to Madhur's participation in the average weight of 46. So Madhur's average weight is 46, Madhur participates here.